It's time for the segment where we review the things that we've consumed in the past week, whether it's movies, TV, something we've read, anything. This is The Look. Well, I think we both agreed that we've had kind of a busy week and maybe didn't get to see or hear or view the amount of things we wanted to.
Yeah, it was a little tight this week with the viewing. In one big part of it, I'm sure a lot of our listeners can empathize, is that there was a lot of sports going on this week,
right.
And I'm a sports enthusiast. The only time I watch a baseball all year, unless I'm at the game, is the playoffs, and the baseball playoffs consumed a lot of my time because those games last somewhere between 4 and 14 hours.
Right,
typically.
Right. It's becoming more and more like cricket all the time.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, we might as well just start, let them go until the next day.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because it's gotten to be that slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little tougher to find the time this week.
Yeah, I didn't get to see too much. One of the things I did do is catch a little bit of this Burning Love. I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's on screen.yahoo.com/burning-love. It's an online series. It's one of those, if you've seen things like Children's Hospital or what's another good smaller type show that's on like this?
What's the I always forget the letters. NTF.
Oh yeah.
SUVSD.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. With Paul Scheer and June Diane Raphael and some of the other crew. This is very similar. It's a 15 to 20 minute online thing, and it's basically a take. I'll just read the little synopsis here. Burning Love is a scripted comedy series, which is a web spoof of the television show The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and Bachelor Pad. Depending on the season, the show either follows a man or a woman who is looking for the perfect mate from a pool of contestants, or has contestants living together in a mansion competing for a cash prize. Ben Stiller is the executive producer. Season 1 showcases fireman Mark Orlando, who is played by the brilliant Ken Marino, also from Children's Hospital, as the Bachelor. Season 2 of the series, which premiered in February 2013, stars June Diane Raphael, reprising her role as Season 1 contestant Julie, now the Bachelorette, given the chance to find the perfect man. Season 3 also was in 2013 and starred former contestants from Season 1 and 2 competing for a $900 prize rather than for love. So you might have recognized a couple names there, and pretty much the humor that this is going to have. We do have a clip that we're going to play, so all right. Let's get to that. This is Burning Love.
This season on Burning Love, Mark Orlando is used to feeling the heat of fire, but now he's looking for someone to ignite the flames of love.
I know I have a lot to give to a partner. I just want someone to give it to. Every night. And in the morning. And sometimes in the shower.
What's up, ladies?
We connected on so many levels.
M for Mark. No!
The ladies are going to send the first lady home.
We're trying to heal the breach in our inner security system.
My baby!
No, Jay, wait, it's just a baby!
Is this for real? Is this happening?
This interview is over. This is so unfair to me.
Mark.
Can I get it? What? Can I get an amen? I'm just looking to park my heart somewhere. Preferably somewhere with running water.
You really think that you're going to be ready to propose?
I think Mark's going to make it through this.
To true love. True love.
Yeah, and that was a clip during a podcast. Very visual. Very visual clip. No, it looks like a great show. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch all of it, but you can find most of the episodes online. It's fairly easy since it is an online series. You can find it on YouTube. Of course, that Yahoo address I gave at the beginning. Probably a couple other places. It's one of those things where the reason I watched it, I was laying in bed. I had my iPad there, and I was like, I'd heard this on podcast before, so let me check it out. And I did, and I'm glad I did. So I think you would enjoy it. I know you haven't seen it yet, but knowing how much you love Children's Hospital, I'd say this is right up your alley. Yeah,
I definitely need to check it out. Of course, I was a little mistaken. I thought Burning Love was about venereal diseases, but I might have been...
Well, considering it is based on The Bachelor and Bachelorette, I'm sure there is a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, those jacuzzis turned into Petri dishes.
Oof.
Yeah. The good thing it's a spoof, so we know it's not really happening. It's a little bit not quite as disgusting as the actual reality shows that it's based on, I would assume.
Yeah, hopefully the chlorine in the water gets rid of all that spoof.
Yeah, true.
Okay, well.
Yeah, the spoof and yeah. Well, that's, I definitely need to check that one out. One thing that occurred this past week that I did watch, didn't want to miss this because, Vince, as you know, I'm an avid watcher of a reality show that's been on for, I think like 12 seasons now, called Project Runway. And, now, people that know me might not think that that's a show that, would typically be on my radar, but I've been watching it since season 1, way back when it was on Bravo. Nowadays, it's on Lifetime, which is, I can honestly say it's the only show that I watch on Lifetime regularly, believe it or not. But I really enjoy the show. It's a competition over the course of however many weeks, 12 weeks, and 12, 13 weeks, and the big finale is they do Fashion Week in New York City, and essentially what it is are. I think they start with maybe 16 unknown fashion designers. Mm-hmm. And during the course of the show, they compete and eliminate someone each week. And they have challenges each episode. And then they rank the best and the worst. And then they cut one of the worst contestants for that week until they get down to a final, 4 or 5. And then a few of those guys will actually be on the runway in New York City. And the big finale show was this week for this last season, and it was pretty exciting. If you're interested at all in design, the creative process, and it makes for some entertaining. Sometimes there's some cat fighting and whatnot in there that make it entertaining, just like any reality show.
Like actual cats,
not actual cats, but
because Mike Vick got in trouble for dog fighting. I didn't know if any of these fashion moguls were kind of like big into the cat fighting business or not.
Well, in fashion, dealing with cats is not that bad. I mean, they have like the catwalk,
oh yeah,
that
okay.
Sort of thing. But no, not actual cat fighting. So maybe not as exciting as you were hoping, but still kind of exciting because you throw some fashion designers, put them in a room together, some eccentric personalities, and some stuff goes wrong. But this season,
it's practically like MMA, I would imagine.
It's pretty close. I mean, they're very physical people. A lot of.
They can't really hurt each other. So
well, they have scissors and pins and stuff.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, so
if weapons are allowed, then that changes the game.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I mean, you got to have weapons to do fashion design
because otherwise, I can't see them being able to hurt each other at all.
They can.
Because they are Fashion Week, right? I mean, it is WEAK, right?
No, it's actually WEEK.
Oh, okay.
Fashion Week.
Oh, okay. So they're a little bit stronger, possibly, then.
Because apparently people that care about fashion, as you and I both obviously do, based on the way we dress,
Yeah.
the purple, we kind of went off a little bit today with it. But
I thought we were, going to be visual today. But.
Yeah, normally you're a little bit more of a fashion plate than you are today. But everybody, we all look toward Fashion Week. What's going to be the new trends for next year, et cetera. I think I probably speak for you on that. But the thing about Project Runway, you've got Heidi Klum as your host, which is always nice. Zach Posen, Nina Garcia are two of the judges. Zach Posen's a big time designer, and Nina Garcia. It's like Mary Claire, editor, and so these guys have some. It
doesn't have the gun dude in it. What's his name? James Gunn. Is it James Gunn? Who's the gun guy?
Oh, Tim Gunn.
Tim Gunn.
Yeah,
James Gunn is a filmmaker.
Yeah, Tim Gunn is in it as well. He's a mentor, and he's probably the aspect of the show that people probably know the most who don't watch it because there's
like
a lot,
me.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of quotes. He's a
I like him. He's sassy.
Yeah, he's a neat character. I like Tim Gunn. But this season just ended this past week, and Dom was the winner. For those of you keeping score at home, I picked Braden from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of dropped the ball on the final runway show. The other two contestants, Alexandria, she did a pretty good job, and I really thought she was going to be the dark horse to win. But Justin, I'll just mention the last guy. Justin was a deaf designer, so that was kind of interesting take on this year. But if you've never seen the show,
well, I mean, I would think in fashion if you're deaf, like Def Jam.
No.
Oh.
Again, it's a whole thing with the E's and the A's.
Okay.
Instead of DEF, it's DEAF.
Oh, so it's not like an urban thing.
No. He's deaf in the ears.
Oh. No, that's not very urban.
Not deaf in his attitude.
Oh, okay.
Or in his delivery, his flow. He's more deaf in his hearing. But he did a good job. But if you've never watched the show, I would recommend checking it out if you're interested in design and creative process, etc. I think there's a lot to be taken from it. It's a little bit long. I mean, I typically, it's 90 minutes an episode. And, I would say, watch the beginning, get the challenge, kind of get a feel for what they're going to do. Fast forward, DVR it, fast forward it, get to the part where Tim Gunn talks to him, and then zip on to the end, get see the runway show and who gets kicked off that week. And a really exciting thing, though, if you haven't checked it out before, coming up on the 24th, I believe this week, when this podcast airs, the All Stars Project Runway version will premiere at 9:00 on the 24th, and that's on the Lifetime Network.
Bringing their best cats in.
Bringing the best ones back, yeah. But Alyssa Milano will be hosting, as opposed to Heidi Klum, and I think we all remember Alyssa Milano from, naked pictures that leaked to the web.
Vampire's Kiss, I remember.
Yeah, that's big, too, because she's naked in those, too.
Yeah.
I think those are probably what most people know her for. But it will be interesting to see if she can, really let people know who's the boss without Tony Danza there. So we'll see. But she'll be the host, and they're bringing back some past champions. So it might be interesting. If you haven't watched the show, jump in on the All Stars, and I think you'll be surprised at really how entertaining it can be.
I think that's the third "Who's the Boss" reference in our podcast so far.
I can think of one other one, but
I know at least one, maybe two. I don't know. I know there's a Tony Danza in there. Maybe it's just a Tony Danza and a "Who's the Boss" reference. I don't know. Maybe it was the same show. So moving on, I like we host our files on SoundCloud. You may or may not know this. If you listen through iTunes, you may not know this, but we're also on SoundCloud, and that's what we put on our blog. We embed it. So I'm on there quite a bit, messing around with our shows, changing names and numbers. So typically I run across a couple of newer things on there. People post songs on there mostly. We're kind of out of the norm by hosting our podcast there. One of the things I ran across was a user called Algar, and his big thing is chiptunes. Now, some people don't know what chiptunes are, and so I looked this up on...
Is that Alvin, Simon, and Theodore? I think I remember those guys.
No,
I used to have a couple...
No, that was the Chipmunks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is chiptunes. From Wikipedia, obviously a good source of information. They say a chiptune, also known as chip music or 8-bit music, is synthesized electronic music produced by the sound chips of vintage computer, video game consoles, and arcade machines, as well as some other methods, such as emulation. So I got a little clip to play here, so you'll be able to know what I'm talking about.
Are you sure that's not the Chipmunks? Because I swear that sounds like